I do like this couch.
Optimal for relaxation.
Now, let me ask you something. Is this a new designer? Okay, I like this angle, Jason. This is nice.
No, this couch is from the 70s.
Okay, good. I like
This
that.
couch is from the same designer of the Togo.
Of
Now
the
designed the Togo couch?
Togo couch?
Designed this.
I don't know the Togo couch. Put me up on game. I'm not sure what that is.
Togo couch is the one that's low to the ground. It's got the like lines in it. Everyone sits in it. Everyone's got the little Instagram.
I like this couch.
I like it better than Togo. That's why it's here.
I like this couch, and it's a good size. It's a good size couch. And are you careful not to get paint on this couch?
Yeah, I really don't sit on this. This is where you sit and you use this wall right here. That's
Right.
a viewing wall.
Right.
You take the QR code right there, you scan it, rather than me run around picking up painting left and right while you sit on your ass.
Now you got the projector, which is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably optimum for studios. Instead of having a TV, you just have a projector.
Yeah.
So then no one thinks that you're. So like when someone comes in here, right?
Yeah.
They don't see a television and they think higher of you because if you have a television, they might be like, "This dude's a piece of shit and he's watching The Office."
It
And I
depends
don't-
on what your TV is on, because I got a TV right there.
Yeah, but that's a vintage TV. That's a
That's the
tubular.
VHS. That's
It's a
the
tubular
VHS,
TV,
that's true.
and you got the wall of VHS over there.
Yes.
And are all those tapes? Are there tapes in there?
Yeah, of course.
And you watch them?
Yeah, man. Everything's right there, man. I don't really gotta well, there's nothing new under the sun, you dig?
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
me, you just look at these things and you find so much, color palettes.
Yeah.
You go look at the billboards, the advertising.
Yeah.
You look at the art in those rooms. There's a lot there to be looked at and to just take from. It's all there. So
There's so much reference in a movie because if you think about it, I do the same shit. I pull a lot of references from old movies, and because if you think about it, like just okay, yeah, the cinematography, that's one thing. That's one color palette, right? Costuming, that's a whole other color palette and style decision.
let's not get her eating or nothing on camera.
Then you got and then then you got locations. Okay, different locales. You have the performances themselves.
Exactly.
There's a lot to pull from.
It's everything is there. If you ever get into a rut, that's why I got a lot of vintage stuff. Like I got like the tape player with the tapes, the CDs and shit like that. Just because you go backwards, you can know where you want to go. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you came from.
I would go as far as to say that a very good film is maybe, in my opinion, sometimes the highest form of art, only because it uses music and audio, it uses cinematography, painting with light, and it uses acting and storytelling all meshed together to create one thing. What do you think about that statement?
As a painter, I'm definitely not just going to cop out and say it's the highest, got me fucked up.
I said it can be.
But it is very high up there, and then arguably, yes, the highest and I would only say because it has the allowance to encompass all of it. You can see art through a film. You can hear music, like you just referenced.
Yeah.
You can experience so many other forms through the movie. So I would say it's the top. I would say it's the most community-based. There we go. Let's go.
Yep.
Because art's the top.
Yeah. Okay. Interview over. Well, you can't make a film by yourself. You gotta have a community.
You can't. You can do it with your phone in your pocket right now. Stop
Okay,
capping.
sure. Okay, you could make a film by yourself, but it wouldn't be, a collaborative effort is what makes a great film, in my opinion. Maybe
Yes.
someone will make a movie by themselves with the green screen and just one person talking.
They do it all the time. It's called Cam Soda, but it's just primary female.
Right. There is an
I had to
industry.
take the joke. I had to
There
shoot
is
the shot.
no. I respect
I
that.
had to
There
shoot
is
the shot.
there is an industry. People do make films on their own.
They're directors shooting by
And
themselves.
they're
films,
directing.
being
They're their own
watched.
cinematographer. They're their own actor. They might have another co-star, which would be a prop.
DP.
Yep.
Direct
DP.
penetration.
Yep.
Director of photography.
Yep.
Yeah, both of them.
All
Same
of that
time.
stuff.
It's
All that
crazy.
stuff. Wonderful stuff. So in your wall of VHS tapes, what's the top 5 that you're gonna?
There's no top 5. There's no top 5 of anything. There's no top anything because the way I see it is everything has its time and its place.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you might feel like Casino is going crazy.
Yeah.
It might be the best thing in here.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you might be like, damn, the drama that Speed provided was crazy.
Yeah.
Then you go bam. And then all of a sudden you're like, Robin Williams is crazy in Jumanji.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're in Blank Man.
Yeah.
You ever seen Blank Man?
Blank Man.
Blank Man. You never even seen that. Like Double Jeopardy,
Yeah.
Then you got stuff over there like we in too deep. Like,
Oh my
come on,
god.
it's just
Oh my god.
It's such a variety.
That's
of
the
things.
whole. That was that whole wave of In Too Deep. Maybe try to. It's with what's his face. It was that whole wave of like New
LL
York.
Cool J.
LL Cool J. I'm thinking of something else.
Omar Epps.
Omar Epps. Okay.
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed. Yeah.
What about Clockers? Do you like Clockers?
Clockers? I'm not really familiar with Clockers.
Spike Lee.
No, I couldn't
No,
say I seen
Clockers is a
I gotta
good
go
one.
watch that.
New Jersey Drive. You seen that one?
I seen New Jersey Drive.
New Jersey
man.
Drive is pretty sick.
A lot of car theft, baby.
A lot of car theft, yeah.
It's still
Jason,
rampant.
I gotta make a suggestion. You gotta. I think maybe, in my opinion, maybe you want to. Are you punching in close with those shots you're doing? Okay, just making sure, not to step on your toes, but I am acting as de facto director in front of the camera. Anyways, so here we are in Jahlil's studio. Really happy to be here. It's really nice. This is really soothing to me to be surrounded by art and creativity. And I know that sounds corny, like I'm like I just went to the arts and crafts store and I'm trying to make a basket, but it's true. I do feel the flow of energy and creativity going through this building. I love the tall ceilings. I love the giant windows. This is where I aspire to have a studio like this one day and then go home and rest my head at home, but come here during the day.
It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm blessed, man.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, man.
You're blessed. You're in a great place. I mean, I think that you are obviously hustling and evolving and really putting in work. And you have a very casual way about yourself in that you're not stressing to me. You're not being neurotic and being like, you're just like, hey man, shit's happening. I'm running it, blah, blah, blah. But you seem to be doing things somewhat effortlessly. What do you think about that statement?
I think it's important to try to have some poise and never let them see you sweat. But it's definitely a lot of effort in this. I don't want to say or sit here and act like, I'm some fucking prodigy or something. I'll put that work in for sure, man. Definitely sleepless nights. But I think people forget, it takes a lifetime for overnight success.
It really does.
And man, if it looks like that, maybe you gotta look a little deeper. But I like to make it look like it's easy, but it's not though. There's an art to that itself.
Yeah, I can tell what you're doing is not easy, but I think that your vibe is very like chill. You're not being pretentious or too serious about your work. But I think your work is serious.
I think that's what helps. Not that this profession lacks seriousness, but let's keep it real. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like, this is a beautiful thing to be able to do.
Yes.
I fucking paint.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I wake up and I apply my emotions and my thoughts to this canvas. And that's it's not like I'm in here shoveling coal. So this is a very, very fortunate position to be in. But it also does take going through a really tough place to get here. This is a culmination of a lot of hard work and time,
Yeah, I respect people that are able to support themselves by doing something like this, more so than because I think ultimately, like, I would like to be left alone in a room with my music and draw and paint, and then somehow pay the bills and eat pho off of that would be fantastic.
Let me remind some people too.
Yeah.
I think people say they want that till they get that, till they're in that room by themselves and they got to keep going.
Yeah,
I mean,
look, everything always turns into a job, no matter how great it is. Trust me.
It get dark.
Yeah,
this ain't no job. This is like, this come on insanity. I'm putting my heart, my dreams for you to just come in here and be like, this shit is garbage, and I gotta take that.
Yeah.
So like, I think people forget that side of this.
No,
like
man.
This side is at this point right now for me.
Yeah.
Super good. Like, but before this, like, you had to deal with motherfuckers coming here and being like, I don't really like this. I don't really, like, is this all you do? Are you sure?
My God.
Are you sure this is all you want to do? Maybe you should get like a job, or maybe like you should work in a gallery too to like make sure you're stable. You got to hear that from people, and you got to turn that into
What kind
fuel.
of people would you hear that from? Other artists, or for gallerists, or from buyers?
I mean, I'm hearing that from every side of the fence, just because I have a particular position. Coming from the musical background, people already have their judgments. Then they go and see what music you did. They make another set of judgments. And then I already have everything that I've come with from God and the universe. I'm African American. I'm a heterosexual male. Another bunch of shit people got to tell you. So for me, I think a lot of people had a lot of things to say. A lot of doubts. And then it's like, you don't really seem like an artist kind of guy.
Yes.
You don't really seem like whatever that seems like, but I just wanted to shed light, like, because a lot of times I do think about, the other side and what it would feel like to know that, my check is coming in, to know that, this is okay, but I gotta make moves and I gotta work in a way where I don't really know what's gonna happen. I just got to put my heart on the line.
I mean, I think that you have, and I think what you said is profound because you are basically bearing your soul, and by doing art, I think I've done a bunch of art shows, group shows, right? And it's the scariest thing I've ever done, and it makes me sweat the most because painting something and putting it in a room full of people is terrifying to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Oh, it's pretty terrifying, and I still haven't gotten. I mean, I did stadiums, music.
yeah,
Like it's cool. Like going up there, it's like it's so much different. And it's so much smaller. It's such a small scale and so much more intimate. But it's even more frightening and it's like these people are almost in a sense even more less inclined to even have an opinion because anyone can walk in an art show. You go to a concert,
Yeah.
you're there because you want to be there.
Yeah.
Not to say these people don't want to be
Yeah.
there because of the art.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's such a more open space with no parameters as far as you being able to be a judge of it. It's art is subjective.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we can say music is bad. We can say this is that, this is that.
yeah.
But art you can't really say that, but you can. It's just a tricky situation, man.
It really is a tricky,
super sticky.
It's
Man.
it's not like it's not like you put a song out and it either tracks or it doesn't. That's how you kind of validate whether or not it's a hit, whether it's a hit in the sense of a commodity or being commodified. But like with art, it's anything. It's crazy. Like anything can be good or bad art. Any piece of art can be good or bad,
For sure.
depending on who did it or what the fucking zeitgeist is at the moment, where we at in what point in time.
I mean, I would even more go to say it's whoever, depending on who saw it, decide to say what about it.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, man, the game is completely rigged, and everyone, this whole idea of like a starving artist that struggles and like I don't think that half of these people really are. I don't think that that's what happens for them. I think that a lot of people are just kind of like part of the system. They're born into it and they become artists, and that's just like a progression. And God, all power to them, because if I was a part of a system and born into it, I would take every advantage I could to get a leg up. But it is tough because the game is fucking rigged.
I mean, we're
And-
not gonna knock that or knock their authenticity because of lineage. That's just
No,
like it's
no.
comparable to like sports. My dad plays sports. He's the coach here. I got on the team. It's the same thing, but I think it is we got to take responsibility and letting this be a real open field though. And it is rigged in that sense. I don't think it's open enough for someone that doesn't have that lineage in the space. I think it's harder
Yeah.
for them to reach those heights.
It doesn't mean that those people can't paint or whatever, produce art. I'm just saying they just listen. Some people are just connected in a
You got
different
that
way.
help.
Yeah.
You got that help.
Yes, and again, like if everyone should take whatever help they can get, you're going to say no. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. I would
Hey, I
say
ain't gonna
yes.
lie. That was one of the best things I've done in my career is say no, to be honest with you.
What would you say no
Say
to?
no to a lot of help. I mean, I want the glory, man. I got a little chip on my shoulder. That's one of the big reasons I got out of music, for me to have all responsibility for the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
After, we apply this pressure and we give it all we got. I don't want to have to split that glory with, you went to this gallery, we put you on.
Yeah.
Or we did this, we put you on. Or I was there and this happened for you. I wanted to all the way down the middle, down the stretch, it's all on me. Glory. Because if I can do this and I can get right, there's nowhere else I can't touch.
But at some point, do you think that you're going to have to sign with a major?
Honestly, I want to. I just
get
want
into
it
the
to be
system.
a situation where I understand what the leverage is.
Yeah.
If I'm doing all this by myself, why would I have to go take less than? Standard is 50%
Yeah.
with these galleries.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they're paying the rent up in here. We're in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sky. There's no one above us right now but God.
Right.
4th floor corner with the view.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If we,
Yeah.
you know what that is. It's the big boy office.
Yes.
And they're not paying half the rent here.
No.
They're not buying these paintings. Look, that's metal. That's aluminum stretchers. These are all custom made. It's large scale. You see the size work. This just
Yeah.
got to be housed.
Yeah.
It's not like these are flying off the shelf every day and I'm getting 50s every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if in order for me to split that check with somebody halfway down the middle, you got to be doing half the work. And so I'm just waiting until I find a situation that behooves me. Someone
Yeah.
understands what I put forward in my value, and then we can have a conversation and we can keep this going. But until then, I have no problem bearing all the weight of this situation and, doing what I can and working with the people that want to work with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I'm not working with anyone at all. Like I got a show coming up soon. Shout out GBA. May, I'm gonna be in New York, showing in Brooklyn, and they're doing great things for artists and the artist community. Like their whole commission, I'm not gonna speak about the numbers, but it definitely favors an artist.
Okay.
They're not digging in my pocket all crazy.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, just that alone is doing wonders for the art community, because you give an artist space to have some legs to stand on and do some things, you know?
I mean, can we talk about basically some of your process as an artist? Like, you know, and I know this question could verge on being corny, but
Yeah.
you know, when you sit down to paint, right? Let's say you're going to do this painting right here.
Yeah.
Is this something that you like? Will you do a miniature sketch of it first, or will you just start painting, or how does it start?
We're not doing any sketches. We're not doing no practice. I'm Allen Iverson with this practice. Sketches? Sketches? Y'all ain't here doing sketches? No, man. No. Nah, no offense to people that pre-sketch. But me personally, no, I don't sketch. I try to just, the only thing I really try to think about beforehand is how do I feel at the time?
Yeah.
And how do I want someone to feel?
Okay.
That's what I take in.
Wow.
And if I don't have an answer for any of those, I just go, and then it'll eventually tell me how I felt.
Yeah.
So I'm just going off emotion, really.
See that I really believe that you have, you know, whatever that thing is, whatever that creative energy is, the muse or whatever, it's flowing through you. And because the way you're doing it, I understand that flow. Like sometimes I'll sit down and just kind of start moving my hands or start typing and things come out and I don't really know where it came from.
Yeah, and it took you on a ride.
Yeah.
You know, and then you end up being, okay, this is what it meant.
Yeah.
I never go in trying to like push a narrative.
Yeah.
A lot of these paintings show me a lot about myself and what it is I've intaked. And like you said though, we just flow.
Yeah.
And you just flow, and it's just really, and for me it's just passion.
Yeah.
It's just how I feel and just getting it out. This is my therapy. And I know that sounds corny, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I come here, I just do what I feel. I don't have any parameters. I got no boss. I'm not the boss.
Right.
The boss is literally the cosmic energy.
Yes.
It's the boss.
No, I believe that whatever cosmic energy represents, it is a thing. There is a state of mind called the flow state where you lose yourself in this thing, and the thing about it is someone who has, you know, designed and drawn and created, like, you know, done things his whole life. There's a thing that happens where you feel pleasure, like it feels pleasurable to lay down a line or to do, you know, to feel like when you lay that line down, you feel like there's like a serotonin uptick, right?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
Like,
here getting dopamine. I'm here
you're getting
high,
yes,
for sure.
You're getting high, like
Every
you're
time.
doing it every time I
Every
sit
time.
down and fucking boom, 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 write out some shit. I
I'm
really,
juiced.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah. It feels
fire.
good. You feel like you're supposed to be doing it. And the thing that you said too, I think is really important. I'm gonna take this home with me. Is that you said that before you do something, you think about what it is that you're feeling, and also what you want someone else to feel when they see it. I think that's as much as you could ever say about making art. Like that's it, right? That's probably it.
I think I try to handle my responsibility to myself first.
Yeah.
And then I got to understand that this is a community, this is a place, and I got to be responsible for how I can make someone feel. I don't got to like bend what I'm doing for that, but I just got to acknowledge that they will have a feeling when they see this.
Yeah.
So I'm just acknowledging the fact they're going to feel something. I don't really care, but I am acknowledging that they will feel something. They will feel something.
They will feel something. And I feel that. I really do. And it's interesting, man, because I remember I used to hit you from time to time on Instagram and be like, oh, you know, just early on and be like, hey, man, I like what you're doing. That's cool. We tap in here and there. And to see it in the very beginning of something, I can like what you're doing, but that doesn't mean it's going to evolve. And it doesn't mean that it's going to turn into anything at all.
Sure.
I just like the fact that you're like, I'm doing this now. And you got behind it so hard, like it was just like you're doing, and you backed yourself up so much. And I feel like that kind of fortitude with some talent can take you almost anywhere.
I totally agree, man. And to anybody out there that's thinking or wants some advice, because I know this is what often happens, is people ask the advice, and you know what happens for me won't necessarily happen for other people. But I can tell you that if you got the patience, then you'll get everything you want.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta keep going. And I know this shit sounds so corny saying it, but like there is no crazy thing I can tell you, like, oh, you do it like this and that and exactly like this in order to work. The only thing I can tell you that would even mimic that structure of a sentence is, okay, stay down, keep your head down, and outwork them. Outwork them. That's all I did.
Yeah.
I didn't come in here with, we're in a building right now that's full of artists.
Yeah.
Full of artists. You saw
Yeah.
there's 3 galleries downstairs
yeah.
on the first floor.
Yeah.
Everyone is here. So my goal is to outwork all of them.
Right.
Outwork all of them.
Right.
And if I can do that, everything that I care about or that matters to me will fall under that. It'll be accomplished. It'll all happen. I don't know. I don't have to know how it happened, but I do have to know that I'm outworking motherfuckers. So I go knock on people's doors in here, and I go in there and I see how much they got in there. That doesn't necessarily mean that, just because it isn't in the studio, that's not all they got, and I'm not working on. But I like to go in there and feel that energy on people and see what they're doing and feed off that and just be like, I got to outwork them. I got to go down the hallway and be inspired. You go next door, it's Brandon Tenier. Bam, you got to get inspired. You go downstairs, there's Julian Pace, it's Ken Taylor. It's people in here all day. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to outwork them. You like them, I love their work, it's amazing stuff, and I got to outwork them.
Yeah.
And I go outwork them. It's like every time I walk in the hallway here, I park the Benz, I'm like Jordan. I walk through the hallway downstairs, you've seen it. You go to the top floor, and I just outwork them.
Yeah. Is that a lesson that you learned, or were you always like that? Like, did you have to learn that lesson by doing music and realizing that you can't just fuck around the whole time? Or were you always in that mode?
I think I adopted that attitude at a young age just because, I knew I wasn't going to be the tallest. I knew I wasn't going to be a lot of things that I think people perceived as what you needed to accomplish these things. I just knew that I have to first, understand what I have. If it's speed, if it's gumption, if it's whatever, that's what I have.
Yeah.
And when I have that, I got to work it to my best abilities and outwork them. And, it's just shit like, R.I.P. Kobe. It's just mentalities like that. Like, there's no way to be better than Kobe if he spent more time shooting free throws, man. No, you could be God-given talent. You could do all this, but if I'm just in there shooting more than you, it's gonna be really hard for you to do anything with me.
Yeah.
And so I just apply that to everything it is that I've wanted to do as a profession. I just was like, you know what? I just truly immersed myself in it, drowned in it. Just like, yo, pause. But I truly just, and that's all I did. That's all I do.
Right.
Like, and then the outcome was always like I excelled really fast. I understood a lot about things, so I have to learn about them, and the outcome was always good. I've never had a bad outcome because I worked hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just the motto on that one.
You have a very singular focus that is shared by people that achieve higher levels of success, it seems like.
Well, it's a scary thing for people to do. I think it's really hard, and it's it's a hard thing for it, no matter, because as adults and shit, we got to provide for ourselves, and we got to have some type of logic and a safety net and all this shit. But if you can, I was applying this to myself at a young age. That's why I rise to the ranks even through music at a young age.
Yeah,
because I had less responsibility then.
Yeah,
so it's even easier to apply that mentality to myself.
Right,
and I just continue to practice it, and it's a little scary. You got to be like, you got to kind of like turn your back to some shit. Like, you know what? If this doesn't work, I'm ready to sleep in that car.
Yeah.
This is a possibility.
You're ready to put it on the line.
You got to just know what comes with this shit.
Yeah. You're ready to be uncomfortable to get what you want.
Exactly. And if you get over that fear, you end up never even doing that shit. You end up never going to that space.
Damn.
Because you've allowed it to be a possibility and realization like, well, I could get there. And you've worked yourself to never be there because you know that that's there.
Damn, you got to be willing. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable.
You got to take that.
That's a big thing because a lot of times I don't want to be uncomfortable.
That's why people don't chase
things.
Dreams, or people don't chase this mystical thing of like, you getting you get to do what you love.
Yes.
It's because that risk, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that risk is the biggest fucking risk. I mean, think about how many parents lose that risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters lose that risk because you got to take care of some shit.
Yeah.
And then life is real, bro.
Yeah,
you can't,
life is real. Bills are real.
This shit is real.
Money is real.
It's on our ass, bro.
Yeah,
Pause.
it's on your head.
They're on us, bro.
And if you don't,
all the bread, they want all the money.
And also, like, look, man, a lot of us out here are working without a net, right? So
exactly,
there is no, when we fall, we're gonna fall.
Yeah,
there's nothing to land on.
Yeah,
and I get that too, man. So that's why it's scary for me. Sometimes it makes things even scarier to take a risk because
you're like, an adult.
Yes.
Yeah, you get even scared.
Yes, I have the same. I think about it all the time. I'm like, well, I could if I take a risk on something and leave behind something that gives me money, what if I fail? Then I left, and then I double fucked myself.
Now you look stupid. Your peers looking at you like you were chasing some shit.
You left the bag.
We knew you weren't supposed to be doing that. You should have stayed down. You got humiliation on your back now. And,
or you fucking you connect you decide to commit, because I'm like you. When I commit to something,
it is what it is.
It's still until the fucking threads are gone, the wheels are gone.
And I'm gonna try it again.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not letting go.
And I will try it again. Yes, and that's the only way I've known. I mean, I'm sure there is an easier, softer way to do things, but I don't know it.
Well, I think the easier, softer way has a lighter yield. I think we get a heavier yield because
that's true.
We take the bigger risk, and that's the thing. If you can fathom all of that discomfort and all that, what if about, damn, I lose. You got to be able to do that. What if I win?
I know.
And that's got to mean more to you than the loss.
Oh, shit.
Because it was never a loss for me. It was a lesson. I could try again.
Yeah.
You know, put it simple, it's just the Babe Ruth syndrome. You know, you're going to miss 100% of the shit you don't swing at.
Yeah.
You know,
was that Babe Ruth? I thought it was Dick Buttkiss.
Man, it might predate my knowledge, but know. I remember Babe Ruth.
Pete Rose. I think it was Pete Rose. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Man, but how about Jahlil Nzinga? How about that?
Yeah.
Babe Ruth, he's gone. Shout out to him and his people.
You don't
but
sell
it's my turn,
100% of the canvases you don't paint.
You know, and you got to put them up there. There's things in here that are super old, and you could look at it like, damn, nobody ever wanted this painting.
Right.
It's gonna happen eventually. But if I never did it and I never held it and it never went from studio to studio, from eye set to eye set to eye set, then it never was important enough to get there. It has to have a story.
Yeah.
They all have a story. They all have the lifetime they're going to have.
It's all part of your greater body of work. It's part of the oeuvre, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that the oeuvre, right? I mean, it's part of that. You can't get from D without doing B and C, right? You got to get that,
I mean, you could, but you miss what those things mean.
Yeah.
And now you out there lost because you don't know where it came from.
I talked to friends of mine who are artists and gallerists, and they talk to them. They tell me about the pitfalls of making too much money in the art game too soon, and that whole market. You ever hear about that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I laugh at stuff like that.
Or the secondary, like if you're selling things and your price gets up really high, then on the secondary market, your price is up to like $1 million. And then all of a sudden you have to be able to make paintings that are worth that much. And then all of a sudden the whole thing collapses. I don't exactly know how it works, but I've heard about it. It sounds scary.
It's super scary. That's that ecosystem that they try to build over there.
Yeah.
And that's when me personally, how I feel when there's too many hands in the kitchen, man. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people that has to go through. You got to go through an art advisor, the fucking collectors, the collection, the artists.
Yeah.
You got to go through a lot of the hoops and holes before you can even do that. Then you got to deal with the secondary situation as like, you got to look at these auction houses. That's what's going on. Then you got these people that get their hands on the work. You got to vet these people that get their hands. But that's the whole system in itself, I feel like a lot of those people, I think my vision on this whole situation is very particular.
Okay.
I'm coming from a different creative background. I understand what this leverage does, especially since I've taken some losses in music. If you guys want to go study my background, you go look into the pack, Stunner Man, all that, you go do that later. But I took some hits with that. I've understood that. I think a lot of these artists, when they do rise to these ranks, they forget the hard pivot.
Yeah.
They suck on the teat too much. It's at one point you see this thing coming, right? You're getting all this heat. All that shit's got to be paid back, just like a label, almost in a sense.
Right.
And now, not paid back from a financial standpoint, but the higher you get, without it being all off your own energy, then you've outsourced. You got all these people that you have to answer to and all that. You're gonna have to owe all these people. They're all gonna have a part of that, and they're all gonna be people that can essentially ruin what you got going, because they're part of what you are now. You know what I'm saying? If you can, as much as possible, keep this a tight-knit group while you rise to this shit, you can make better decisions that are for you and for yourself.
Right.
But when all the decisions and you've got to this height because of all these other people, then you're kind of at that point, you just become, a pretty face.
Yeah.
And now you're kaput. You get the artist kiss of death.
Yeah, it's crazy because, you think about all the energy and pathos or whatever that goes into making art, here talking to an artist, but like at the end of the day, you've made something that will then turn into, once someone buys it, something that someone owns. It's part of their portfolio, you know, and it's something they've invested in.
Yeah.
And probably one day they'd like to say, well, I have this, and this, and I have this. You know, I have some stuff where I talk about this is worth this much. It's worth that much.
For sure,
and it
me
becomes
too.
just another piece, another commodity for them. And you forget that now your art, as you know, as much as you put your heart into it, is now this thing that is like, it's like a fucking bearer bond of some sort, you know, or it's like a stock.
That's why this is the scariest thing alive to be doing.
It's crazy, right?
It's just a crazy thing we're doing, man.
Yeah, and then people can, you know, the bottom can fall out, man. Your stock can crash, or it can keep rising, you know. And who's to say? No one knows. And it's like, I think it's all based on like, yeah, the art itself is one thing, but there's 20 other things that got to line up.
20 things got to line up when you don't rely on yourself and you push. I think I'll say this. I think it's not enough artists out there leading with themselves. A lot of artists are leading with art itself, which is great. I think it should be about art, but it's also another responsibility of who you are as a person. I think if you are a stand-up person, you're a real one, I think that you can never lose. There's always going to be people support you and support your views and your morals because you fall in this category as this person. And now we're not just, instead of just buying your work, your commodity, we can buy into you as a person. And the stock should be you, not your art. Art is a secondary situation that comes after you being a real one. You know, that's just what I produce. But on top of that, I'm this person. So people get to bank on me as a person rather than being like, are these lines and colors going to be relative here from 20 years?
Right.
I think you can look at me and be like, yo, this is the type of motherfucker I think is going to be around for 20 years.
Right.
He's got that shit, you know? And I think a lot of artists hide behind that too. Like, it's just, you know, like, do you know what the day in the life with Coons is like?
Day in life with Coons?
Yeah.
No.
I don't either. And I think maybe if he was a little more open,
Yeah.
we could buy into him and his lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
I know more about Hearst. I like Hearst's work because I've got to see more intimate things about his life. So I get to buy into him more. You know,
Right.
like I was just watching the famous Condo interview where he showed you how he works on paper. It was super cool to see, you know, even his choice of clothing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you get to start buying into. When
Right.
art becomes this whole big, massive thing, like you don't know who this guy even is.
Yeah.
Does he eat Irwan? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, where does he go? Does he go to Gus's Chicken?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just know that his name is supposed to be all famous, and you know that's where your art gets traded around and treated like that.
Yeah, I had an art teacher tell me that if you don't like the person, you can't really like the art. You know, now there are musicians that like I've liked so much, and then and something happens, they have a scandal, and everyone abandons the music. But I'm like, I still love that music. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna not listen to R. Kelly because of the things that he's done, because some of his tracks touch me in a way that he touched other people, right?
R. Kelly.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just beep that whole sentence.
But nah, totally. And I think
as an artist too, I want to say, like, when you see Morgan Freeman come out with the white dreads, like, how does that make you feel as a person?
I mean, honestly, that makes me feel super excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, pause.
Yeah.
Like, Morgan Freeman got the white dreads. That's like new levels of Morgan Freeman unlocked. Like,
Yeah.
what type of acting he's finna do with the all white dreads?
Right.
I mean, come on. Like,
Right.
Morgan Freeman's already a legend. Like,
Yeah.
what you mean? Like,
Just when you thought Morgan couldn't Freeman any harder, he Morganed even harder than he Freeman.
he went even crazier. You know, Morgan Freeman just got off a crazy run. He just did the Metro Boomin and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with Morgan Freeman. He's a real one. He's untouchable. You know.
Yeah.
He was a part of that real shit going on in Africa as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know a lot, look into that. Morgan Freeman is hands on. He's a real one.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's tight, man. He's like one of these ubiquitous people. He's like I don't know. He's like everywhere. It's like Snoop. You know, Snoop is just like ubiquitous at this point. He just exists as like everything, you know?
Morgan Freeman is the only person that should be playing God in movies, though.
I agree.
Y'all seen how he did it. Come on, don't disagree with me.
Yeah.
Y'all see it. Go watch everybody else's God roles, then watch how Morgan Freeman does it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it was right when he did it. Like,
Yeah.
shout out Morgan, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Morgan. Shout out the white dreads. And otherwise in pop culture, you know, what's going on, Jason? What's going on in the world right now? All right. Hold on, I'm just taking a
Listen,
little.
I'm just saying like this, and this is you can say Gandalf or Morgan Freeman. It should have been Morgan Freeman. Imagine
Right.
Morgan Freeman played Gandalf. How much bigger would Harry Potter have been?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you got to think like this logically.
Think of.
Come on.
This is the intro.
Gandalf. Shit is
This is
crazy.
the intro to the show. If Morgan Freeman played Gandalf, how much bigger would Harry Potter have been? That's the statement. I want
J.K.
that on the
Rowling,
clip.
come holler at me if you want me to revamp all of that.
Put this on the fucking Instagram, Jason, in a clip. Vertical.
Creative consultant. I'm here.
Yes, vertical.
I've rearranged things.
Set it up for reels. Make sure that the did I get a contact high again? Make sure that it's in a rectangular upwards format. If Morgan Freeman had played Gandalf, imagine how great Harry Potter would have been. Think about it. Quote him. Print that. Encase it in glass. Throw it in the fucking river because we don't have a river here. We got the LA River.
Let's talk about the importance of
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I like that. No, man, yo.
Old media.
Real one. The importance of old media rather than, new. For me personally,
What is old media?
the VHS.
Oh, okay.
The tapes.
Old technology.
The CD players.
Yeah.
I think it's super important that you consume it the vintage way because there was a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this right here houses everything you see around that I have
Yes.
to go touch one machine for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you lose the element of you lose your intent.
Yeah.
If when I went and picked up the Mac 10 cassette tape and put it into, my Sony Walkman and put the headphones on and mess with the volume knob because it broke off, I really wanted to listen to that Mac 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't because it popped up on the screen. It was an option, and then I could click it off real fast. I actually listened to the songs full out because of the energy it took for me to actually get to that song.
And you also listen to a whole album.
You flip the tape.
Yes.
You start to think about more things like the drums, and
Yeah.
you have this. You listen or experience it in a different way because of the connection to the process.
Yeah. I
Like
agree.
VHS, I pull that out. I gotta make sure it's rewound to the front. I gotta fast forward through the previews. It's funny to watch the previews of the other movies out at the time. I'm spending time being present in the creativity. But if I have all of it at one point, like I go right now, I can watch a movie, I
Yeah.
can play a video game, I can take a picture,
Yeah.
I can download music, I can do all this at once. None of
Yeah.
it has really any more importance.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
That space and that time of that process is what makes these things, for me personally, sacred.
I back that, and I think that this reminds me of when I moved, you copped the arc lamp from me, right?
Had
and
wood base. Shout out to
the
your
wood
boy.
based arc lamp. But when in the middle of that move, I had to do a deep clean and get rid of a bunch of stuff, and I had in my closet
I need those CDs and tapes, bro.
400 tapes in Tupperware and maybe 1,000 CDs, and my ex-girl and her friend were going through the stuff with me, and they convinced me. They were like, "You got to throw away a bunch of shit." I said, "Okay."
No.
No, listen. Hold on.
They knocked you
No,
off.
hold on. And what happened is they got my DVDs first, and they convinced me. They go,
That's what they got you at.
They got my
Wait,
DVDs,
wait.
and I was
the positioning of himself to go like this.
yeah.
They got my DVDs.
They got they got my DVDs. They got my DVDs first, and I was shell shocked by the whole process because it's a very traumatic thing. Is getting rid of all my
Wait,
shit. It was
DVD?
hard. Huh?
DVD's nuts. I
Yeah.
had to make the jump.
These nuts.
DVD's nuts. No.
Yeah, you missed. You're so late on that. You could have got them earlier.
I know, right? Fuck.
So they got the DVDs, and I let them walk out with the DVDs, and then they came
But
after.
they took them for themselves.
They took them to fucking Amoeba or some shit. I was like, go.
They got that bread off them joints.
Yeah, they yapped me for the DVDs.
How many DVDs do you think it was?
Bro, box is big. Everything, every movie known to man. And I let it go because they're like, it's all streaming. I'm trying to condense space. I'm trying to move in with my ex-girlfriend, which I moved in with, and then didn't work.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
really?
That's the
God.
plot twist. Yeah, that's the plot twist. But then man down. I'm telling you. Then
Down bad. Remember, go back.
very
Rewind
bad.
back
Go
to
back
we
to-
said earlier.
yeah, it's down
I'm
bad.
down bad.
Yeah, down
Zoom
bad.
in on his face. We said,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down
No, you can
bad.
see my pupils dilate. The tears, you never see those, but they're swimming around. And then they went after my CDs and tapes, and I was like, no. Like they started
drew the line.
I was like, I'm like, you can't do this. Like, you can't take these CDs from me. I need these. I'm like, if I do sell these, there is a person, maybe in Japan, maybe in Riverside, who will buy the whole lot from me.
The whole lot.
And
I'm one of those
love
people.
it. Yes,
I'm one of
I have
those people.
I have Rhodium Swap Me mixtapes. I have like the craziest shit. And so I kept it all, and I kept it all because I'm like, one day I'm gonna be somewhere where I'm gonna have the time and space to put a tape in a boombox and listen to that tape the way
It's
it used
gonna
to.
feel amazing.
And it's gonna feel good.
And it's gonna remind you, like, damn, took this with me,
Yeah.
and I made it a thing that I wasn't gonna lose this.
Yeah.
And it's went with me from place to place, from place to place.
And I'm gonna tell you that sometimes, and this is gonna sound like corny and sad, but that music in those tapes and in those CDs was the only thing I had to keep me going because I invested my
that's not
entire.
corny at all.
All I had in my life was music and graffiti and weed. And those three things kept me alive for like 10 years.
That's trifecta.
Right?
That's trying. You
Now,
know what I'm saying?
things change. Those are not the things that keep me alive now. But I'm telling you that without that music to invest myself into, to vicariously
with,
live to
yeah.
escape with, I don't know. I mean, I read too. I did a whole bunch of other things, but music was huge. And when I go through them CDs, I'm just like, fuck. And yeah, I listen to all this shit on Spotify, but when I go through a CD and open the
It's
booklet,
a different feeling.
it's different, man.
You smell that book, you open
Yeah.
that thing, you open that tape,
Yeah.
you remember to like, oh, I broke this tape doing
Yeah.
this that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
And that's why it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And I have to listen to only this part.
Yeah.
Those things it's nostalgia you can't beat, man.
Yeah.
It's a physicality to it.
Yeah.
Like it's tangible. Like people forget owning music, I used to have it.
Yeah.
This isn't owning music.
Yeah.
This is streaming. I used to have this music.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter if my phone went out, if anything stopped, and I had the radio on that, I could play it.
Yeah.
Now, right now, if your fucking phone dies, you don't have that music.
Yeah.
You don't own that.
Yeah.
It's different
Yeah.
shit. But
It's-
you know, this is free game for y'all youngsters out there.
Yeah.
That it's like he keeps saying tape. What is that? Like
Tape these nuts to your chin. That's what that is.
little boy, fuck out of here. At the fucking Goodwill buying all this shit up. You fucking thrifters, get the fuck out of here. Stop this shit. Trying to look cool and shit. You don't even know what you're doing, man. I see another one of you motherfuckers buying these VCRs up. I swear to God. Let me not put God in this. I'm smacking at you.
I mean, the kids
Put that
do.
down.
The kids love the dead technology. They love the retro shit. They're
They
like, this
love
is
it
so
to
cute.
look at it, not to use it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. These shits is ornaments. Like
Yeah.
these shits is accessories. Like, yo, use that motherfucker, man.
It is funny, man. That, getting older, you really don't believe you're ever gonna get old when you're younger. And I still don't really believe that I'm older, but I am older than a lot of people. And you see the things that you grew up with turn into someone else's fucking like. This is cute, like some little fucking, whatever. Like
I think we're the only generation that's gonna have fun getting old. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you that because we're the last generation that saw it go from, pager, beeper, house line,
yeah, yeah,
all the
Rotary
way to
phone.
hello hologram. Like,
Yeah.
we're the only people that'll have this perspective.
Yeah,
And once we go, it goes with us because they're not gonna have anyone that can be like, oh, it went like this. Whoop, wop, wop.
yeah.
We're the last.
The last of the
The
analog
last
people.
of the real.
Yeah,
The last of the real.
Yeah.
We're where they got the sauce from. But I have realized this. We are becoming so valuable
Right.
now because a lot of this shit's gone.
Yeah.
And it's swamped with the internet, all this shit. The actual process, the information is us now. We're the
yeah,
value.
right.
Like they come see us, we're
Yeah.
old, amazing relics.
I mean, they won't. It's interesting because they will not let go of the era of the '90s. Like, no, it's like still
You
holding
can't.
on.
The
They can't
design
let go
was-
of it.
Well, the level of design was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
The level,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like cars, clothing, food, everything was better. Drugs,
Drugs are
women,
definitely better.
men, everything was better. Pause. But us as people,
Fast forward.
I feel like technology is really like. I feel like things we can experience have been better. We can do a lot more things, but I think us as a culture is like for sure we're going down the drain.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just washed right now. We're a little
Yeah.
washed. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, but I think it's because we don't cherish anything, especially in America. Like, everything's like the newest next thing. You go to these other places, there's so much more tradition still there.
Yeah.
Like, you see shit go through family, generation, heirlooms. Like, when the last time you've seen somebody that we know, oh, this is my grandpa watch.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't exist over here. no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just everything is, we upgraded. We got the new car. We got the new TV, the new washer.
Yeah.
We got it's just,
You might be right, man, because my ex was significantly younger than me, and she does not have any. There's no nostalgia factor for
There's
her at
no
all.
culture,
She
none of
just
that.
like doesn't
New shit.
care.
Yeah.
They throw away baby pictures and shit. I'm like,
I'm saying,
I'm like,
I
what
don't
the
like
fuck?
how I looked at this.
yeah. I'm like, well,
crazy.
you don't want to hold on to this drawing? And she's like, no, why would I want that? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm holding on to the scraps of paper that have a little letter I wrote.
Hold
Like,
on to receipts from
Yeah.
2004.
Okay, at
just
least
to
I'm not the
remember I
only
was
one.
a baller. You feel me? Like, I've been balling. Look, right here, 2004, 3:15 p.m. I spent 28,000. You know what I'm saying? What is y'all talking about? Y'all look, he got a receipt. At Dior. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm having all of that. I'm not.
That's actually funny.
Fuck out of here. man.
the
I'm
paper
good.
receipt.
paper
I got a
receipt.
paper trail.
I'm laminating receipts from '98
That's pretty funny.
just to let you know we've been eating lobster and steak. You just got a plate. I was then out of state. You late. Hello. Where's the walkie at?
Message.
10-4. Message. Let's go, man. Nzinga Studios, man.
Yeah, man, we're at the studio, and it's going down in here in a major way, and I'm really happy to be here. And I don't know what else to say. Is that thing live? You got someone
It's
on the
live
other
now. Get them out of here. They just went over the time.
Yeah,
Good looking.
we were over the time. Man. We fucking wrapped it up. What do you think, Jason? Was that was a 90?
For sure. All right, don't worry. We're going to let them clear. We're going to let them be clear.
Who the fuck is
Just let you know I got them hitters outside. I'm not
Who the
playing.
fuck is on the
you know?
other end of the
Don't trip on
walkie-talkie?
who the line is. Just know if I wanted you out of here, then come knocking at these doors and get you boys up out of here.
I'd love to see a bunch of red dots all over Jason, just like looking like the measles. You know
Now
what
you
I
trying
mean?
to make me Ja Morant. This is Jahlil Nzinga. No red dots with us. You know what I'm saying?
He's
You
gonna
trying to
pistol
make me
whip the
Ja-
cameraman.
Wrong Ja. Wrong Ja. Crazy. That was great. Good setup for that joke.
What a yeah, that was fantastic. What a show.